being and having a good training partner makes all the freaking difference, and I'm going to tell you why right freaking now. Today was class number 18. It was a haymaker punch defense and the punch block series stage 5. And of course, I've done this before. I've done this multiple times, so this isn't new for me, but it was my 3rd time taking the class, so I got to finally check it off my card. But the big takeaway for me today was the quality of your training partner. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in a good way. If you can find somebody who matches your energy, matches your intensity, matches your flow, everything just seems to work better together. And I don't know about you. There's plenty of memes and stuff online, but everybody has their own favorite training partner. And you know what? Some of my favorite training partners are no longer in the combatives class. They have tested out and moved on to the master cycle class. I saw 2 of my guys this morning in master cycle, and I was like, dang, those are 2 of my favorite guys to work with. And my guy Arthur, I haven't seen him in a while, but I heard he took his test last week and I heard he passed. So everybody that I have been talking to and working with have graduated. Okay, and that's a good thing. We need to make progress. We need to grow. We need to go to the next level. But now I feel like I'm the old man in the room. I feel like I'm the old guy with the 3 stripes about to be 4 stripes. And I think there's one other guy in the class who has 4 stripes. My guy won. And so we end up being assistant teachers, if you will. Maybe not assistant teachers, but you know, we partner up with the guys who've never trained before or the guys who are new. And my guy Steven today, he's trained before, he's done other martial arts, but he's on the trial, he's visiting and trying out Gracie University. So in the process of going with him and teaching him these moves, working with him on these moves, I'm also explaining things to him like punch block series 1 through 4. Obviously, I'm not doing my own thing. I'm not having my own mini class, but he would ask me, why is this number 4? And I explained to him, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, you know, stuff like that. But not so much the information, but the energy is what made all the difference. Steven, being a martial artist and having trained in other styles, likes the intensity. He likes to make it feel like a fight. He likes to get in there and mix it up a little bit. And so I felt it from the very beginning with the haymaker punch defense. I was like, whoa, this guy's not playing around. So then, of course, my energy matches his energy. And then boom, 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 boom. And the funny thing was, and I don't say this in an egotistical way, the funny thing was is when he would go really hard, or not hard, but he would go intense, I won't say it was hard, when he would go intense, then I would match his energy or I would deflect his energy. It sounds like some old BS Aikido Steven Seagal stuff, but it was real. Like at one point we're doing Zach and Bobby added at the end, they added the shrimp escape, you know, from side. So if somebody gets past your leg on the rollover technique, if you don't make it in time and they get past to the side, how do you prevent somebody taking side control or, you know, dominating you from the side? And doing the side, you know, the shrimp from the side control, my man Steven was putting a lot of pressure on me, which was good, but he overcommitted. So I just went with it and rolled him a couple times. And he was like, oh man. And I'm like, yeah, dude, that's the thing. That's the next level of this game. We're doing the moves. Yes. You got the move. Yes. Now you got the intensity of the move. Yes. But now we have to make sure we're not too intense or we don't overcommit. And so that is the game. That is the process. We do the moves. We learn the moves. We practice the moves. We ramp up the intensity. And we make sure we're not compromising ourselves because of the intensity. At least that's what I feel like happened today. And I was glad and happy to be a part of it. So not a lot of lesson here, not a lot of takeaway here. There isn't anything in the technique or in the moves that I haven't learned or haven't observed before. But yeah, it was a good time. And of course, it's nice seeing my old friends that have now moved on with new belts and new classes, but it's also nice seeing some new friends and making new friends. I just hope those new friends don't get used to seeing my chubby self around because I'm on my way out. I got a couple more classes until I've got my 4th stripe, and then my card will be full, and then I can move on and take my test. The private lessons have helped considerably. The reflex development at Huntington Beach has helped considerably. I'm making a lot of progress, and I can't wait to move forward. I will keep you updated and posted on my progress, and so now you got to do 3 things. You got to stay focused, you got to stay positive, and you got to stay vigilant. See you next time.